clean.
I think I was there.
You might have been there.
Yeah, man. We had some good ass fights this year. And now, Crawford's about to fight.
Yes, he's gonna fight Canelo.
Oh man.
I just hope he's big enough. I hope he's big enough to keep that dude off him, because Canelo hits so hard, man. Just guys that just have preposterous power, and Canelo is a guy that has power but is constantly working on it. There's a great clip of him working with Andy Ruiz. You know that shield, that weird hand shield that they hold up for hooks?
Yeah.
And he's like, this is not for speed. This is just power. He's like, don't try to be fast with this, just power. And he's seen it. Bro, he hits so hard.
After witnessing Canelo Alvarez's confidence and intensity at the press conference, Joe Rogan voiced serious concerns for Terence Crawford. The UFC commentator, clearly impressed by Canelo's focused demeanor, admitted he was swayed by the champion's presence. While Crawford spoke with assurance, Rogan felt Canelo's energy was overwhelming and possibly too much to handle. He even went so far as to suggest Crawford should consider pulling out, fearing the matchup could be dangerous for him.
Canelo Alvarez body shots. Like, maybe there's a video we could look. He's got a beautiful one where he steps in and just rips that left hook to the liver, and just your body just goes deep. It shuts down. It's the weirdest feeling, man. It's like your legs stop working, everything stops working. Your whole body just seizes up.
I've always believed Crawford had a shot, Joe Rogan admitted, but I saw a different Canelo at that press conference. According to the UFC commentator, Alvarez looked more focused and driven than ever before, like this fight meant more to him than any in his career. Rogan went on to label Crawford the clear underdog, warning that things could go terribly wrong for the Nebraskan boxer on fight night. Crawford has often been the underdog, but after seeing that press conference, it really hit me. He's up against something huge. Only a miracle can save him now. Rogan even floated the idea of canceling the fight, though he acknowledged how unlikely that would be. If it were up to me, that fight wouldn't happen. Canelo's aura just drained all my optimism.
Would be gigantic.
I'm trying to make all-time history.
Right. Yeah. That's the one that gets you going. I can see it in your eyes.
Yeah. I hear him now. You're too little. Canelo gonna break you. Yeah. I love the challenges. Let me prove him wrong once again.
Both fighters have achieved incredible success across 4 weight divisions. Crawford enters the bout with a flawless 41-0 record, having dominated every opponent in his path. Despite facing some criticism, Canelo Alvarez remains one of boxing's elite and continues to be the sport's biggest star. Their clash promises a high-stakes meeting of 2 exceptional champions.
For sure, them belts coming with me. They coming home with me. I'm telling you right now.
You can see it, but
it's gonna
be difficult. You take it to your
I'm
home.
taking them. And ain't nothing you gonna be able to do about it come fight
And
night.
I know Turkey's in your corner,
I promise you.
but look, it's
All
gonna
right.
be very difficult. He's gonna be so mad that day. Believe me.
When 2 elite champions from different weight divisions meet, one inevitably faces a size disadvantage, and sometimes that's all it takes to tilt the balance. This upcoming super fight is no exception. Even when the bout was first announced, Joe Rogan expressed concern over Terence Crawford moving up 2 weight classes to make it happen. While both fighters are supremely skilled, the physical difference could prove decisive. Rogan hinted that such a jump in weight might put Crawford at a serious disadvantage against a naturally bigger and powerful opponent like Canelo Alvarez.
I see you. I see you. You see I'm different.
I see you too.
You see I'm different than all the other ones.
No, I see you. You don't look different. You're nothing different.
I'm different.
Nothing different.
I'm different.
We'll see.
You gonna see.
We'll
You
see.
know it.
We'll see.
We gonna see.
Having first made his mark in the lightweight division, Terence "Bud" Crawford is now preparing for his biggest leap yet, moving from junior middleweight, 154 pounds, to the super middleweight limit of 168 pounds for a legacy-defining showdown with Canelo Alvarez. This weight jump is bound to be a major talking point as fight night approaches, especially given Crawford's highly technical style. His opponent, Canelo, is also a world-class boxer who has competed as high as light heavyweight. During a recent episode of Asterisk, the Joe Rogan Experience with comedian Brian Simpson, Rogan highlighted the size disparity as a serious concern. Having recorded multiple podcast episodes with Crawford in the past, Rogan expressed admiration for his skill but questioned whether it would be enough against Canelo's raw power. "I just hope he's big enough," Rogan said. "I hope he's big enough to keep that dude off him. Because Canelo hits so hard, man."
The elite of the elite boxers. To a man, to every one of them, they're disciplined.
Yeah.
And they stay focused. I'm so excited to see this fight with Canelo Alvarez because I think the Saudi Arabians have so much money. They are throwing so much money at boxing. And the guy who's the head of boxing over there wants to make that fight happen. I think Terence Crawford, forget about the 3 weight classes. I think he could beat Canelo.
I think he can.
Moving up 2 weight classes doesn't seem to faze Terence Crawford, who has long pursued this super fight with Canelo Alvarez. Despite the challenge ahead, Crawford has opted to skip a tune-up bout, meaning he will have been out of the ring for over a year by the time the fight takes place. While that layoff could raise concerns, it also gives him valuable time to adapt physically to the new weight class. For Crawford, it's all or nothing in what may be the toughest test of his career.
It's you and Canelo. What would it look like?
Come on, man. I know what I do. I ain't got to talk about it on the streets. I'm gonna be against anybody. I ain't never gonna say another man gonna whoop me. So, you know what I mean? That's your answer right there.
I guess in Guadalajara, you think it'd be a little different on the streets if Terence came to town?
I think every city, every place is different, no? It's different. But we don't talking about the streets. We're talking about boxing, the beautiful sport of boxing. So that's different, way different than the streets.
Fans of Joe Rogan's show were surprised to see him shift sides so quickly after initially backing Crawford. Many believe Canelo Alvarez, currently fighting at super middleweight, will retain a significant size advantage over Crawford, who spent most of his career at 147 pounds and last fought at 154 pounds. However, Rogan didn't think the size difference alone would be a deciding factor, initially downplaying its impact on the outcome of the fight.
Dude, that like I believe all the he be talking.
Crawford? Yeah. Oh, he's good.
He don't just be saying shit.
They tried to say that like Errol Spence was damaged because of what Crawford did to him because he was damaged from the car accident. I'm like, maybe. Or maybe Crawford would have done that 3 years ago. I think he's that good. He's just so skillful.
According to Joe Rogan, Terence Crawford isn't as small as many believe. On episode 2286 of the Joe Rogan Experience, where he was joined by Antonio Brown, Rogan explained that the 37-year-old boxer still has plenty of time to put on the necessary weight. Expressing his excitement, he said, "You know why I'm excited? Terence Crawford and Canelo, that's the one." Despite his enthusiasm, Rogan acknowledged the main concern among fans, the size difference. While he believes Crawford can bulk up, he admits it remains a major factor heading into this highly anticipated showdown.
And when he gets, and he's also the best guy in the sport at switch hitting. He'll go from southpaw to orthodox and be just as good and trip you up. Like you think he's going to start southpaw, he starts orthodox. You prepare for orthodox, he's fighting southpaw. He feels like he's got you timed better orthodox, he'll switch it up. You know?
Joe Rogan addressed a common concern among fans, that Terence Crawford is too small to face Canelo Alvarez. "A lot of people think Terence is too small," Rogan said. "But he weighed in the other day at 185 pounds. He just won the 154-pound title, and before that he was fighting at welterweight 147. It's not like he doesn't have time to add more weight." Still, many fans remain skeptical. Despite Crawford's undeniable talent, they fear he may become just another name on Canelo's long list of conquered opponents. Much of the doubt stems from Crawford making such a significant jump in weight, especially without the safety net of a rehydration clause. However, Crawford is widely regarded as one of the most skilled fighters in the sport today. He boasts an undefeated professional record of 41-0, with 31 wins by knockout. His most recent victory came via unanimous decision against Israel Madrid.
He just knows so much about boxing, about where to be and what's coming. And
he's a strategist that's also entertaining.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's an artist.
Like remember like a young B-Hop?
Yeah.
It was like just so sharp and made it look almost entertaining. You know what I mean?
Roy Jones in his prime. It was art. You were watching art. He's piecing up people.
Riyadh season kicked off in grand fashion with one of the year's most anticipated boxing events already generating major buzz. The Baker Al Shidi Theatre at BLVD City in Saudi Arabia hosted the first press conference for the blockbuster showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. On September 13th in Las Vegas, Canelo will defend his undisputed super middleweight title against the undefeated Crawford, who is making a bold leap by moving up 2 weight classes. Also at stake is the prestigious Ring magazine title, valued at a record-breaking $188,000. The fight will stream live on Netflix, and the atmosphere is already electric. The two champions faced off in a lavishly produced event, echoing the spectacle and grandeur that have become standard for major fights in the Middle East. Canelo's resume is unmatched. He's fought everyone over the last 20 years. I don't think he'll give Crawford the chance to beat him. This will be one of the greatest fights of the decade, said Turki Alilshik, who officially opened the press conference. The night before, both fighters dined with the Saudi sports minister, whose vision helped bring this long-awaited bout to life.
Going up and becoming undisputed against Canelo. Come on, man. I'm flying in the sunset, man. Thank you, boxing gods.
That would be it?
That would be it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing it for me. I didn't accomplish everything there is to accomplish in the sport of boxing. You know.
Canelo Alvarez enters this fight with something to prove following a lackluster win over William Skull, a bout that set a record for the fewest punches thrown. That wasn't a fight, it was a disappointment, Canelo admitted. I came to fight, but you need both boxers to want it. Fired up for this much bigger challenge, Canelo added. This is a big fight, and for me, making history is the goal. He's a great fighter, but he's not Canelo. I've got experience. People only talk about my power, but I have much more than that. I think this will be one of the best fights of my career. Despite being a former undisputed welterweight champion and recently winning the IBF super welterweight title, Terence Crawford enters as the underdog, largely due to the major jump in weight he's taking to face the Mexicans.
I'm saying at once.
Right.
I'm saying I started at 135. I'm just saying, like, say if Canelo was the champion at 147 to go up 168.
Right in one jump.
Yeah, in one jump.
It's a big jump, too. 21 pounds. It's a lot of weight.
I'm going to win, it's that simple. No one tells me how to fight. I've been doing this my whole life, and I'm not going to run, declared Terence Crawford. Known for his elusive, backward-moving style, Crawford could present serious problems for Canelo Alvarez. But the Mexican champion remains unfazed. Both fighters are confident this clash will be one for the ages. I asked for Canelo because he's a great fighter, Crawford said. He's faced legends like Mayweather and GGG. He's had mega fights. This is my mega fight. This is my moment. That's why I wanted Canelo. He's one of the best boxers I'll ever face, and I'm going to prepare for everything. Alvarez, standing proudly behind his collection of championship belts, responded with a warning. He's not going to beat me. I believe this fight will go down in the history books. I just hope he doesn't run. Fans deserve a real fight. I hope he brings it because I know what I'm capable of. I'm very confident.
However I gotta fight, I'm gonna win. Simple as that. I'm not gonna let somebody else force me or tell me how to fight when I've been fighting my whole life. You know, I won't be running. You know, I can tell you that. But I will be, you know, doing a lot of touching.
Get me wrong. He's a great fighter, like I say, he's no Canelo.
Ahead of their highly anticipated September 13th showdown, Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford sat down with Piers Morgan for an in-depth interview. Morgan explored their backgrounds, mental toughness, and physical readiness leading into the fight. However, neither fighter was eager to dive into the more personal territory, such as Canelo's experience fighting while dealing with his brother's kidnapping or Crawford's past survival after being shot. Still, the two champions offered insights into their mindset. When asked whether he believes Canelo holds any advantages over him, Crawford responded with quiet confidence. Canelo is a great fighter, everyone agrees on that. But I can't say another man is better than me at anything, because he hasn't proven it yet. I can't say his jab is better than mine, because I haven't been in the ring with him. I can't say someone's right hand is better than mine. Everything I do, I feel I do great. The interview revealed the respect both fighters have for each other, but also the fierce self-belief driving them toward this historic clash.
Listen, however they rate me, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we gotta fight, and I'm gonna win the fight. As simple as that.
Can I ask you about if there's any rematch clause with this fight with Canelo?
No, it's not.
Is that something you push for?
No, I didn't.
And there's any weight restrictions to the fight at all?
No, it's not.
I like that, Canelo Alvarez said with a smile. That's when you know it's going to be a good fight. When I hear things like that, I realize this is going to be a great fight. And I love it. I enjoy it. Speaking respectfully of Terence Crawford, he added, "He's a very skillful fighter. Maybe he has a few things better than me. But fighters often judge me from outside the ring. Once they step in with me, they realize it's different. I've got a lot of talent, things they don't expect until they're in there with me." Both Canelo and Crawford recognize the high stakes and elite skill level involved in this bout. "You've got two alpha males in there," Canelo said. "We know what we're capable of. We don't need to put on an act. We're going to give fans a real show." When asked about his reach advantage, Crawford responded with measured insight. "It could help in some cases, but in others it might not. Canelo's really good at slipping inside and landing shots in mid-range. That could be his advantage. I never assume my long arms are automatically a benefit. Sure, they help on the outside, but on the inside, it's about how short and effective you can make those punches. I'm well-rounded in every area of the fight."
I would like to put on a weight restriction to this type of fight. Why didn't you want to do that?
Because I want him at his best. I don't want no excuses. I don't want no, reasons why, he didn't feel good or anything. I want him at his best.
When asked about his current weight, Terence Crawford casually responded, "I don't know, 155. Despite the fight being set at 168 pounds, Crawford showed no concern about the weight gap or how it might affect his style. "No, not at all," he said. "I look at us fighters like we carry a lot of weight anyway. I'll just be fighting at one of my natural weights." Canelo Alvarez, meanwhile, addressed lingering accusations stemming from past failed drug tests. "People who don't want to believe won't believe," he said. "Even if what I say is true or there's proof, they'll still believe what they want. And honestly, I don't really care."
Experts, I think Canelo's not the same fighter. His punch out looks a lot less. What do you think, considering the last 12 months or so? Is he the same fighter he was maybe a few years ago?
I think he is. I just think, he just wasn't up for the skull fight. And I think, different fighters bring different, energies out of other fighters.
A lot of people are judging you on the Madrimov fight, saying you struggled moving up in weight, you're going further up in weight, and they're saying that's going to go against you based on the Madrimov fight. How do you kind of reply?
While history suggests that smaller fighters often struggle against naturally larger opponents, Paulie Malignaggi sees things differently. The former professional boxer and current ProBox TV analyst is just as thrilled as fans about the upcoming showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. He acknowledges that Canelo, the unified super middleweight champion, is a master of his craft and has a clear size advantage. However, Malignaggi insists that Crawford will not be an easy opponent. In a recent interview with Fight Hype, the Magic Man highlighted areas where Crawford could have the upper hand, saying, "At first, I thought Crawford might be..."
Canelo Crawford, I know what you feel about Canelo, but what do you feel about that particular fight? Which it sounds like it probably took 100 to 150 million, maybe each, in order for Turkey to get that.
It doesn't really listen. It's going to be a fight that people want to watch again, because again, it's something that people are generating talk about. Canelo's very popular. At this point, if he fights my sneaker, it's going to generate 1 million pay-per-views, right?
However, Malignaggi went on to clarify that ultimately, the fight will be decided by skill, and in that department, He believes Crawford holds a slight edge. "I think Crawford is a much more complete fighter than Canelo," he said. "The only real concern is his smaller stature." He drew a historical parallel, pointing to Roberto Duran, a former lightweight who moved up in weight and defeated Iran Barkley in 1989. That fight was a close contest, ending in a split decision win for Duran, even though Barkley had previously beaten the legendary Tommy Hearns. It's a reminder that skill can overcome size.
Was originally thinking Crawford might be too small. I think Crawford is a way more complete fighter than Canelo ever was. And Crawford is just, the only risk here is Crawford's small. If you think about it though, Duran was a former lightweight and he was able to beat Iran Barkley eventually, right? So it's not out of the question. And this Canelo is not the prime Canelo. This Canelo is also a Canelo who's trying to steal bags while half-assing it. When Canelo has been put in tough situations, in the moments where he's had to really dig down, what has he done?
That said, as the fight approaches, more fans are starting to believe that Terence Crawford might have what it takes to dethrone Canelo Alvarez. Bold predictions about Canelo's opponents are nothing new, but Crawford brings a unique blend of skill, precision, and confidence that sets him apart. Do you think he can pull off the upset? That's all for now. For the latest boxing news, moments, events, and expert analysis, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you're the first to know when we drop new, high-quality content. Until next time, peace.